We are going to read from 3rd chapter, Karma Yoga, text 27. Prakrite kriyamanani Gunai karmani sarvashaha Ahankara vimudhatma Karta miti manyate Prakrite kriyamanani Gunai karmani sarvashaha Ahankara vimudhatma Kartahamiti manyate. Anyone else would like to chant?
Prakrite kriyamanani Gune karmani sarvasa Ahankara vimudhatma Kartahamiti manyate Prakrite kriyamanani Gune karmani sarvasa Ahankara vimudhatma Kartahamiti manyate.
Very good. Ladies?
Prakrite kriyamanani Gune karmani sarvasa Ahankara vimudhatma Kartahamiti manyate.
Prakrite of material nature. Kriyamanani being done. Gunai by the modes. Karmani activities. Sarvashaha all kinds of. Ahankara vimudha bewildered by false ego. Atma the spirit soul. Karta doer. Aham I. Iti thus. Manyate he thinks. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. Purport. Two persons, one in Krishna consciousness and the other in material consciousness, working on the same level, may appear to be working on the same platform, but there is a wide gulf of difference in their respective positions. The person in material consciousness is convinced by false ego that he is the doer of everything. He does not know that the mechanism of the body is produced by material nature, which works under the supervision of the Supreme Lord. The materialistic person has no knowledge that ultimately he is under the control of Krishna. The person in false ego takes all credit for doing everything independently, and that is the symptom of his ignorance. He does not know that this gross and subtle body is the creation of material nature. Under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as such, his bodily and mental activities should be engaged in the service of Krishna. In Krishna consciousness, the ignorant man forgets that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Rishikesha, or the master of the senses of the material body. For due to his long misuse of the senses and sense gratification, he is factually bewildered by the false ego, which makes him forget his eternal relationship with Krishna. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnanandana Salakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manokishtam Shtapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapamantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Udapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinavantu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Tapta Kanchana Gauranga Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Krishamanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vachakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, translation again. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, think himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. So, it's very nice explanation how the three modes of nature bewilders people, you know. There is Tamaguna, Rajaguna, Sattva-guna, ignorance, passion, and goodness. And they intermingle also, you know. Only Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness, is totally spiritual, transcendental. But it is said that we should at least try to come to the platform of goodness. Because of the platform of goodness, one can understand more easier the knowledge, spiritual knowledge. And Tamagun and Rajagun is more difficult to understand. But in Sattva Guna it's easier to understand the knowledge. You grab it more easily. And the fact is, first of all, is to understand the first ABC of the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita is to understand that we are not this material body. We are not the mind either, subtle body. We are the eternal spirit soul, eternal servant of Krishna. That's the actual knowledge. But bewildered by ahankara, false ego. Ego means identity. We can't eliminate ego. Sometimes people eliminate ego completely. What they think of ego is to be proud. What they think of ego is something like you think more than what actually you are. You know. But the actual meaning of ego means identity. According even in the Greek language, ego meant identity. So that's why Prabhupada used the word false ego, because there is a true ego also, real ego. So when one is acting in false ego, one is creating karma, good or bad. Either way. Suppose somebody is a good person and he likes to help people and open a school, open a hospital, and give charity and things like that. He's doing good work, but he also bound up by the law of karma. Because by this act of good karma, he will get next life better birth in a wealthy family, aristocratic family, a nice looking, good education, good intelligence, but all material, not spiritual. So this is like the man, suppose a rich man goes to jail. And previously they used to put chains on the inmates. So this rich man, he has golden chains. So he's proud of his golden chains. You inmates have iron chains, I have golden chains. What is the benefit of golden chains in jail? The idea is to get out of jail. Like sometimes people may pass in front of the jailhouse and they see inmates breaking stones and bricks like that. So people watching them and lazy people come help us here. What are you doing outside wasting time? Come here and help us. People will laugh. Purpose is not to stay in jail, to get out is the idea. So in the same way, this material world is a jailhouse. And the idea is to get out, not to be a good prisoner or have better accommodation. Sometimes mafia people go to jail, but they have their contact, so they get a TV, they get cigarettes, and they get alcohol and things like that. And they do business from inside the jail. But the idea is not to be comfortable in jail, the idea is to be outside the jail. Is it? So that's the whole idea. I'll tell you one story. Once an Indian businessman named Kumar went to Africa to do business. So after he finished his business, he went to a park to walk, see nature, get distracted a little bit, breathe fresh air. So while walking the park, he stood in front of a big tree, was filled with, what is the name of those parrots, big parrots? Colorful parrots, big parrot, the name? Huh?
Parakeets?
No, the big one with different colors, yellow and red and blue. Mecca, yeah. We call them Mecca, thank you. So they are very big, beautiful, colorful parrots. So he started admiring them. And he thought, wow, I haven't seen in India a big parrot like this, beautiful. I would like to catch one and take home. So he went behind the tree, and was a low branch. He jumped and grabbed one and took home. So he put in a big cage, beautiful cage, and was feeding the parrot with nice fruit and nuts and honey and to keep him happy, So, and he started teaching him Hindi words, etnika paisa, things like that, Jaldi karo. Actually, to know a little Hindi saved my life once, I would like to share with you. That was some years ago. I was in Vrindavan, and a friend of mine invited me for the appearance of Radha Kund, the lake of Radharani. So we went, suppose you take bath at midnight. So a bus full of devotees from ISKCON Vrindavan also went, So we took a taxi, two more friends. So after we did all the bathing and nicely everything, we were going back to Vrindavan. Was 2 in the morning. So the road ahead of us was blocked with a big tree. So the car in front of us, he turned back. He understood this may be dacoits, But our driver was half asleep, He wanted to squeeze one side of the dirt road, not to go back, you know. The other two devotees were sleeping. I was chanting japa, you know. So I was going through the dirt road, and suddenly from nowhere came like 10 gundas, you know, with big machetes and, you know, knives and pistols even, homemade pistols. They were going brick or brick. So I shouted at the driver, Gundas, Gundas, jaldi karo, jaldi karo. You know, for a minute like this, he could, you know, for a few seconds we were like, we couldn't save ourselves, you know. So, but the car behind us was caught. Was one Mataji who was coming to India first time with her son from Dana's temple. I mean, they were not killed, but they were shot with a home gun. So they have to go to hospital and take the pieces out. It was a big problem for them. And I mean to say, this material world is very dangerous. Padam padam yadi padam natesham. Every step there is some danger in this world, even in Vrindavan. You know, at the time of Bhakti Thakur, there were many dacoits assaulting the pilgrims, robbing them. So Bhakti Thakur moved the police to Mathura, Vrindavan, and he caught all the dacoits, put them in jail, cleaned up the area. So, anyway, I was telling you that because the man was teaching the parrot Hindi words. So you will be surprised to know that a few years ago, the scientists were completely shocked by one African parrot who knew by heart 1,000 words. But the more amazing was he could make his own phrases out of that. For example, if he see you eating mango, he say, "Oh, such nice, tasty mango. Give me a little." He can make his own phrases like that. So the parrot of our story, he also learned many, you know, words and phrases. So after a year, Kumar told this parrot, "I'm planning to go to do business in Africa, and I'm planning to go to the park where I found you. If I see your friends, do you have any message for them?" "Oh, yes, please. Tell them I miss them very much. I love them very much. But I'm happy in this cage since you give me nice fruits and nuts." "Okay, I will give you a message." So the man went to the park in Africa, and the same parrot were on the same tree. So he stood in front of the tree and gave the message. As soon as he gave the message, one of the parrots dropped dead. You know, the man was shocked. Poor parrot, why he died suddenly like that? You know, maybe he had a heart attack or something, or maybe because he was missing his friend. Well, I'm very sorry for him. You know, so he went back to India, and after thinking it for a while, he stood in front of the cage and told this parrot, "Dear parrot, I saw your friends and I gave you a message, but I'm very sorry to tell you that as soon as I gave you a message, one of your friends dropped dead. I'm very sorry." As soon as the parrot in the cage heard that, he also dropped dead. So the man was shocked. "Oh, my poor parrot, how he can die on me like this? I loved him so much. I shouldn't have given him that bad news." You know, he was shocked maybe by the bad news. He was very sad and even crying. So he opened the cage, took out the dead body, went to his courtyard and put the parrot on the grass, and went to look for a tool to make a grave for his parrot in the garden. As soon as he walked a few steps, the parrot flew away. So the man was shocked. "Oh, he wasn't dead. You cheated me. Why you did this?" And the parrot said, "I did it because my friend from Africa sent me a very important message." And what was the message? The message was, "I have to fake my death, die to live." Die to live. Meaning the other parrot didn't die either, he just faked his death to send the message. Do like this. That's the Guru. The Guru teach the disciple how to get out of the cage of the material ignorance, material body. So, the teaching of the story is that no matter how nice the cage and the food is, no bird will be happy inside the cage. Has to be free to be happy. In the same way, we are in this cage of the material body. We have to suffer old age, disease, death, birth, So the idea is not to get a nicer cage, made of gold. No, the idea is to get out of the cage. That's the idea. So nowadays people worship, devatas and devis, to get better facility in material life, nicely going, But that's not the purpose of human life. Purpose of human life is to get out of the cage, not to have more comfortable life in the cage. So I hear there is Navaratri now, no? So the worship of Goddess Durga. She's the jailer. She's the jailer of this prison house. So if you want to be okay inside the jailhouse, you have to be, try to please her. So you can be have more facilities inside the jail. But we are Shuddha Shakta. Shaktas who worship the material energy in the form of Durga Devi and different forms. She also a great devotee. Durga Devi is a great devotee of Lord Krishna. You should offer all respect to her. But she's an expansion of Radharani. So we worship the original Devi, pure Shakta. Pure Shakta means we worship the pure original form of the energy of the Devi. Supreme Goddess. That's Radharani. And from Radharani all the other goddesses come. All of them. Lakshmi, Vaikuntha, Goddess Durga, all the different goddesses come from that form of Radharani. So, in order to understand that we are not this body, we are a spirit soul, you have to understand that this body is like a cage, and we are living inside the cage. We are not the cage. So here it said that the person bewildered by the three modes mean, unless you are in ignorance, you will not identify with the body. So you have to be influenced by ignorance to think that you are the material body. And the passion, you think the more you gain material things, you will be happier. That's the mode of passion. In the mode of goodness, you think, okay, if I do some good work, some charity, I will be okay, with the God, and everything will be fine. That's the mode of goodness. So these three things mixed together, and people think I am the doer. But actually, it's only an instrument of the three modes of nature. It's like a marionetteer, He playing with a puppet. It looks moving, but the puppeteer is moving. The same way, everybody is being manipulated by these three modes, and they think they're themselves doing everything. When the material energy is actually doing. Of course, the soul is desiring. The soul is desiring. And according to the desire, they are acting. I want to enjoy something, I make my effort to get what I want. But in that activity, there is influence of Tamagun, Rajagun. So actually, you're serving Rajagun, Tamagun. You're acting under the influence of them. You are not acting independently of them. So that's the meaning. But who's the master and controller of the three modes of nature? Sri Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is the supreme controller. There are many Ishvaras, but there is only one supreme Ishvara, Parama Ishvara, and that is Sri Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Satchitananda Vigraha. His eternal form is full of bliss and knowledge. Everybody wants to be happy. Nobody wants to suffer. But Krishna consciousness is offering everyone the type of happiness which is eternal, not temporary. So it's a better type of happiness. Because material happiness ends with the material body. The body can be young for a few years, and then old age comes, disease, and all the money you get, you have to spend on doctors and hospitals. So what is the happiness? It's only an illusion, no real happiness in this world. So we have to search for the spiritual eternal happiness. So Narottam Das Thakur, he prayed, Ha ha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Bolo Kara Koro Ami Bolo Dukhi. That's Bengali. That my dear Lord Nityananda, you are always very happy. Premananda Sukhi. And I'm coming to you because I am Dukhi. I'm suffering. Please make me happy as you are. So Krishna is offering everyone real happiness, eternal happiness. And that can be achieved through the process of Krishna consciousness. We tell people, chant Hare Krishna and be happy, isn't it? That's not our motto. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. But we have to be happy ourselves, otherwise people will not believe us. I mean, isn't it? So we have to be happy, so people can believe this truth, that you chant Hare Krishna, you can be happy. Isn't it? So why we are unhappy? Because we believe we are the body. And then the body and the mind gives trouble. The mind gives more trouble than the body. Isn't it? You're stressed out by the job and problems, family problem, this problem, that problem. You're stressed out. So you're suffering. You're not happy. So how you get out of this distress? First of all, one should know that in this material world, you can't avoid dualities of suffering and happiness. This comes and goes, you know. What is the mantra in the Bhagavad Gita? Matra sparshas tu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkara agamapaino nityastam titikshasva bharata. O Arjuna, the temporary appearance of happiness, distress, is like the coming of winter and summer. They come and go. Be tolerant. Don't be disturbed. If you fix your mind on me, you will not be disturbed by the duality. Knowing that they will come and go. They will not last forever. This body is not going to last forever. It's going to die one day. So why to be bewildered by the change of the mind or the body? Once a devotee who joined the movement, he was suffering before coming schizophrenia. So he asked Prabhupada, the doctor is giving me a lot of pills. Should I take all this pill? Prabhupada said no. Schizophrenia is just an abrupt change of the mind. So when the attack of schizophrenia comes, you have to sit tight and chant very loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. And you keep chanting until the schizophrenia stopped. You get better, you know. It's a abrupt change of mind, sudden change of mind. But if you chant loudly, it will pass. You don't need to take all these pills and, it's artificial. But they have so many side effects, So, better to find a more natural solution to all our problems. And the natural solution is to awaken our real, eternal happiness through nature. Soul is Satchitanand, eternal, full of bliss and knowledge. So why we are suffering? Because we believe we have the body. That's why we are suffering. We are identifying with the body. So we have to get ready, prepared. Some people say, okay, you devotee also have to die. Yes, it is true. But we are preparing to die the last time. No more death. Last time. Go back to Krishna. Be happy forever. That's the idea. Sometimes people say, well, I mean to say, how do you know for sure that there is life after death? Nobody have come from the other side to tell us. That is not true. Many people came back and they gave their experience. You know that. Very serious investigator like Ian Stevenson, is a psychiatrist from America here, US. He went to India and many countries investigating reincarnation. And he found many children, young age, 7, 8, 10 years old, who remember their past life. There was one famous story, one little girl, Chandra, I think her name, she started speaking about her past life to her parents. Her parents didn't give much importance. But this investigator found out, and he encouraged the parent to make the trip to the town where she's saying that she was living in her previous life. So he paid all expenses and everything, so they went. And without anybody telling her, I mean, she never went out of her town, she found the name, she knew the name of the street, the number of the house, she knew. All the members of the house came out, she named them one by one, their names and relation from past life.